In the great space race of the 1960s, Neil Alden Armstrong commanded a mission to the moon and was the first human to set foot on its surface. But why was the United States so driven to send a man to the moon? And how could anyone summon the courage to climb on board?
Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour.
For thousands of years, humans have gazed up at the night sky and wondered. Even in the early 20th century, much about space, our solar system, and the moon remained a mystery. But by 1960, fierce competition between the Soviet Union and the United States drove the push to explore outer space, the next great frontier. Born in Wapakoneta, Ohio in 1930, Neil Armstrong flew a plane solo at age 16 before he even had a driver's license. Just 2 years later, he qualified for landing on an aircraft carrier as a naval aviator. Armstrong served in the Korean War, completed college, and became an experimental research test pilot, pushing the latest jets to their limits. However, what he really wanted to be was an astronaut, a brand new term derived from Greek words meaning star sailor. Space is the frontier, he said, and that's where I intend to go. In 1958, the newly formed National Aeronautics and Space Administration, known as NASA, began a recruiting program for astronauts. Requirements were rigorous, and candidates had to complete challenging mental and physical tests. Armstrong made the grade and was among a very small group selected for special training in 1962. Just a year earlier, Soviet Union cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first man in space, orbiting the Earth for 108 minutes. America's leaders knew the Soviet Union was ahead in the space race, but NASA was in close pursuit. President John F. Kennedy issued a challenge to U.S. scientists.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
The space race was in full swing. NASA accelerated the Apollo program to land an astronaut safely on the moon. They chose a crew including Commander Neil Armstrong and pilots Edwin Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins. Apollo astronauts rehearsed every step of their mission over and over again, indoors, outdoors, underwater, in spacesuits. They prepared for anything that might happen, learning to walk, eat, and sleep in zero gravity. Finally, on July 16, 1969, at 9:32 a.m., Spaceship Columbia lifted off from Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
The Apollo 11 trip to the moon took just over 3 days to complete. Back on Earth, people all around the world gazed at the night sky and thought about the 3 brave men on their fantastic voyage. Precisely as planned, the Columbia achieved orbit around the moon. Armstrong and Aldrin transferred into the lunar module named the Eagle, beginning their descent to its surface. Armstrong announced the landing to Mission Control and the world.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Then, on July 21st, Neil Armstrong became the first human to set foot on the moon. The first step was witnessed by at least 1/5 of the entire population of Earth. The words Armstrong spoke are now famous.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Together, Armstrong and Aldrin spent about 2 hours outside their craft gathering rock samples, planting an American flag in the hard lunar surface, and gazing in wonder at their home, planet Earth. Successfully reunited, the 3 astronauts left lunar orbit and returned to Earth, landing safely in the Pacific Ocean on July 24, 1969. All 3 were instant worldwide heroes. After their historic mission, 5 more Apollo missions landed on the Moon, but of course, Apollo 11 is the most remembered. It had changed the world forever and advanced knowledge about the composition of the lunar surface. People looked at the Moon in a new way. Although the Cold War fueled the space race that put astronauts on the Moon, the journey carried a far greater symbolic message. Armstrong and Aldrin left a plaque on the Moon. It reads, "We came in peace for all mankind."